What's up, YouTube? What's going on, CCI family? It's your main man back with the game plan once again, but, well, you already know that. So, look, with everything going on in the world right now, with the conflict overseas, the uncertainty in the market's jumping around like they're running on espresso, you feel me? A lot of people are wondering, where is stability supposed to come from right now? Okay? And funny enough, the answer might be in a Bitcoin miner, if you can believe that. Okay, even your boy Tom Lee, if you know, you know, you follow him. He even said stability is in Bitcoin right now. Okay, so while everyone else is scrambling, the one we're getting on today, which is Terawulf, they're out here doing things completely different. Okay, like it's just another Tuesday to them. So today we're going to actually be breaking down who they are, why they matter, and why their whole clean energy angle has people really starting to pay attention. Let's go. Now, before we get in too deep into the nuclear power rabbit hole, you feel me? Let's just set the stage first. Terawulf isn't just another miner out here trying to survive the Bitcoin roller coaster. No. Their whole identity is built around using clean, stable, low-cost energy. Okay, they've got nuclear power from the Nautilus facility, hydro and grid mix that comes from Lake Mariner, and together, I mean, it's the perfect mix. You know, it gives them something that most miners would sell their left arm for, which is predictable energy costs. Okay, and in a market where electricity is the biggest expense, that's a real advantage. Now, here's where Terawulf really separates itself from the pack, okay? The energy strategy isn't just a cool talking point, okay? It directly affects their bottom line. Most miners are out here paying these fluctuating grid prices and praying that the bill doesn't wipe out their margins, okay? But, you know, Terawulf said, no, we're not even hearing none of that. We're going to lock in this hydro and the nuclear aspect, so they can survive even through the chaos. Okay, now that really matters because, you know, when Bitcoin gets volatile, and it always does, it's always the miners with the lowest energy costs that can survive the storm. All right. So when you're looking at Terawulf, you're not just looking at a Bitcoin miner. You're looking at a company trying to build a moat around its operations by controlling the one thing that destroys all the other miners, the power bill. And on top of the energy advantage, Terawulf's been scaling their hash rate like they're trying to make up for lost time. Okay, they've been expanding capacity at both sides, dialing up the efficiency and positioning themselves to squeeze out every bit of value out of each Bitcoin that they mine. All right. And that really matters because in this industry, size and efficiency aren't bragging rights. Not at all. Okay. They're survival tools. So when the halving cuts the rewards in half, the miners with the strongest hash rate and the lowest cost are the ones still standing. Feel me? So Terawulf's whole strategy is basically grow fast, stay efficient, and make sure they're one of the miners who can keep producing Bitcoins even when the rest of the field starts tapping out. And that's why people keep bringing up Terawulf every time Bitcoin starts to make noise again, okay? It's not just a clean energy angle, it's the timing. You feel me? So we're in a post-halving world right now, which is where inefficient miners get squeezed out. You know, energy prices are unpredictable, and investors are looking for those miners who can withstand and survive the next cycle. All right. So Terawulf's whole setup puts them in a position where if Bitcoin keeps climbing, they can scale into that momentum, and instead of getting crushed, you know, by the costs. And this sets it up perfectly for Miss Yvette to come in and start speaking to you a little bit on Bitcoin's behalf, because this only matters if Bitcoin stays strong. You feel me? Let's go.
Thank you, Vince. So let me jump in here with a quick Bitcoin update. because everything you just laid out about Terawulf only matters if the bigger picture is moving in the right direction. And right now, Bitcoin's been holding its ground, even with all the global uncertainty, which is exactly the kind of environment where efficient miners start to separate themselves. With ETFs still pulling in fresh demand and long-term holders refusing to let go of their coins, supply is tightening, and when supply tightens, the miners with the lowest energy costs, like Terawulf, tend to shine the brightest. And just to ground this in what's happening right now, Bitcoin's been hovering in that 70,000 range. Even with a little pullback today, nothing dramatic, just the usual intraday wobble. We saw it spike earlier, cool off toward the evening, and settle right around that 70,500 mark. And honestly, that kind of stability at these levels is exactly why miners like Terawulf stay interesting. When Bitcoin can dip 1% or 2% and still hold strong, it tells you the demand underneath is real. ETFs are still absorbing supply, long-term holders aren't selling, and the network keeps getting more secure. So if Bitcoin keeps behaving like this, steady, strong, and hard to shake, the low-cost miners are the ones positioned to benefit the most. And the real takeaway here is that even with those small dips we saw today, Bitcoin is still holding strong, at levels that would have sounded crazy a few years ago. A 1% slide at 70,000 isn't weakness, it's just the market catching its breath. And that's exactly why miners with smart, low-cost energy setups like Terawulf stay relevant. When Bitcoin can move around a bit and still sit comfortably on solid support, it shows the foundation is healthy. And in an environment like that, the efficient miners are the ones who really get to prove what they can do.
All right, so there you have it, okay? That's really the story here. Now, no, Terawulf is not a guaranteed winner. No stocks are guaranteed winners. We just do the best research we can, put our money in the safest places, and watch it grow. You feel me? Now, they are one of the more interesting players out there, though, because they're actually thinking ahead, okay? They're locking in low cost, clean energy, and putting themselves in a position where they can handle whatever the market throws their way. Now, Bitcoin's holding strong. They're rock solid. The demand underneath is real. And in times like these, efficiency matters way more than the hype does. Okay? So as always, remember, I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. I never will. I'm just giving you the landscape so that you can make the best decision possible for your own money. You feel me? All right. So as usual, I want to wish you all a blessed and financially successful week ahead. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.